Hello, Gogopreneur listeners. In this episode, my guest is Brandon Barnum, and he is one of the co-writers for this amazing book, Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. I happen to be in it twice, mentioned on page 231 and 265, but it's not bragging. It's another thing that I achieved, and I want the world to know, because what gets celebrated gets duplicated. So if I celebrate my small wins, I'm going to get bigger ones, and I get to celebrate them again, right? Because I'll do it again for celebrations. Okay. With that being said, Brandon Barnum, he is a co-writer in this book, but also he is the CEO and founder of HOA.com. He literally 10 times hit his income at one point in his career in 18 months. So imagine making, 20 grand, and then 18 months later making 200. Right? So if he can, you can too. And today we get to pick his brain. We get to pick his brain of how did he become the king of referrals, right? Just the same way I became the queen of social media, he became the king of referrals. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that he can teach us and share with us that will take our businesses and our referral businesses to the next level. So let me welcome Brandon Barnum.
Welcome to Gogopreneur, where Gogo Bethke, your host, interviews badass rock star entrepreneurs of the world, figuring out who they are, how they got to where they're at, and the lessons they learned along the way, so you can learn those lessons and turn it into money. Let's go get them.
How are you?
Gogo, I am blessed beyond belief. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm here at the Workman Success Coach Training event up in Salt Lake City, and Burl sends his best.
Oh, I love them. I still have to have you guys, though. Last time when we were on the call, we talked about you guys coming and teaching in the GoGet'em community and inside of the Team Gogo organization. And when we introduced them to you guys, the idea is that they get to know you, get some free trainings to get to know you, and then they come back for your coaching, right? It's crazy how, I don't know how much you know about me, but talking to Burl last time when I had him on the show, right? Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much of the stuff that I learned from Workman I'm still using, right? Because it became a part of my vocabulary. Right. And I didn't even know that I learned it from him until I heard it out of his mouth. And I was like, oh,
that's great.
I learned that from Workman.
I love Burl. He's just the best.
He's an amazing human. And when they asked me to be a part of your guys' book, I was like, do you guys even know that I used to be in a coaching program? Like, I didn't know he remembered me. I had no idea that he did. It was super nice to know that.
He absolutely did. It was probably 6-8 months ago, and we were talking about who we wanted to feature in the book. And he's like, we've got to have Gogo. I love her. She's fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope I get to coach for you guys too one day. If you need me, I'm all yours. You guys changed my life and laid a very solid foundation for me. But I'm super excited to have you here today, the CEO of HOA, which, by the way, I don't know what that is. So you get to tell us.
Okay, great.
.com is, and how did you get into the technology side of real estate, and how did you meet World Workman? How did you end up on the coaching side of real estate? And then how did Raving Referrals start about for real estate agents? But then also now it's a whole series of Raving Referrals. So where do you want to start, Brandon?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, so often I like to start about with my origin story. And
yeah, let's do with that. So tell me, who is Brandon and how did you end up all the way in real estate?
Well, I got started back in my 20s. In college, I found out you don't have to be married to have a kid. And so at 22, I had my first son. And at 24, I was a single dad. I had gotten full custody of my son. And at that point, I was making $20,000 a year. And it just wasn't enough, right? I had bought a house. I couldn't cover daycare and the mortgage. So I had to make a change. And I ended up getting in the mortgage business. And fortunately, I had somebody mentor me. They kind of taught me what I now teach as Raving Referrals. And through that, I was able to 10x my income from $20,000 a year to $200,000 a year. And that changed everything. So I ended up doing 12 years in the mortgage industry before going full-time tech CEO. And so that's what started it all. And I learned so much of what I teach in the book in those 12 years of partnering with real estate agents and seeing everything that agents do to help families. It's inspiring. And I just want to help as many people as possible.
Oh, I love it. So my business was always referral based, even though looking in, yes, most of my leads come from social media, but they are still a sphere. There are still people that I personally know. I earned their trust at some point, right? So they'll come to me or they send their referrals to me, right? So I never had to buy a lead or anything like that. But then how do you go from mortgage to tech? Like, you have to have a little bit of tech savviness, right? Like I'm blessed with a brain that understands technology, so I can reverse engineer. I know what I want, and I know what technology it needs to work, right? Like the checkout pages, all of those softwares and whatnot. But how do you go from mortgage to tech? Did you have some sort of a technology background in the middle?
I didn't have it in the beginning. Is what happened is I realized early on that the internet was the future. I graduated college in 94. And at that point I had a professor saying, look at the world through new eyes. And back then you couldn't find listings online. I said, this is silly. I want to be able to sit at home and search real estate, in my boxers on my couch. And so I kind of created an early version of Zillow. I lived in Portland, Oregon. So I created the Portland Online Home Buyer Guide. And then I featured listings from the realtors that I wanted to partner with. And then I would digitize their listing.
Guide. So this was what year?
This is 1997 at this point.
97. Okay, and in 1997, what did a guide look like? Like, is this a PDF? Is this a printable?
Oh, it's a website. No, it was a website. Yeah,
okay.
So we had the Portland Online Home Buyer Guide website. It was pdxhome.com. Okay. And what I would do is I would feature listings digitally, right? And what you now see as a listing is what we were showing back in 1997.
Like the original Zillow.
The original Zillow. That's what I say is I built an early version of Zillow and I didn't even know it, right? And it was just Portland, Oregon, but I would feature properties where Portland was known as the Silicon Forest at that point, because we had a lot of tech. We had Intel and Tektronix. So there were people that were into technology and they wanted to be on the internet. They knew it was the future, but there wasn't a lot of content there. So only half of the real estate companies had websites at all. If they had a listing, it had one exterior photo. I said, this is silly. I want to be able to see the whole property. So we would have 6, 8, 10 photos on the website on a featured listing. Right? I know. So, I've been in tech a long time. This is my 10th platform. In fact, my last was called Refer.com. We built that up to 5 million members, including 250,000 real estate agents. So I've been helping agents for a long time, 28 years now. And I love it. I love this industry of real estate. And, I like to teach a method of going on camera where it's all about prosperity for not only you, but also the client. And so that's one of the many things that we teach, but that's sort of the common thread was the technology from the beginning. And I've just always been on a mission to help as many people as possible. And technology is leverage.
Oh gosh, yes. I always say that's your cheapest form of leverage. Like get an app that's $27 a month and set it up one time and let it work $27 for the rest of your life. I always tell them, apps don't get pregnant. They don't get COVID. They don't need to go on vacation. Like, they don't quit on you. Yes, technology can't stop. Something that can't stop working will stop working at some point, right? So yes, you're going to have to double check anything that's set up is still working, but it doesn't cause you as much headache as having full-time employees that don't work weekends and take the holidays off, right? So then how did you? So those companies that you built, because you said you built multiple, those companies that you built. So do you build them to sell them?
Yeah. We exited Refer.com in 2019. You always build your company to sell. Although with HOA.com, I love what we're doing. We're on a mission to create the future of community. So while we are building it to sell it, I don't know that we will sell the golden goose because we're on a mission that's more than just profit and income. It's really about changing the way that communities connect and that families do life with each other.
So tell me, what is HOA.com?
Yeah, so at HOA.com, obviously, we're focused on homeowner associations, right? Best domain on the planet.
Everyone's favorite topic when you live in a community.
Yeah, people hate their HOA.
My husband's really going to love this episode.
Okay, is that right?
Weekly, like, oh my gosh, I can't take them. What time does the dog bark? Can you have a fence? Like, oh, is this a loud type of bush? Well, the neighbor has it. Well, it's not allowed, so I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah. Oh, no, it's a hot button. And it's so interesting, right? If you think about real estate, it's sort of the last unsolved issue. Yeah. And what's amazing is it's a massive issue because there's 375,000 homeowner associations in the U.S. In fact, 53% of all homeowners in the U.S. live in an HOA, but most don't love their HOA. So we're on a mission to change that. We're using AI to improve how the HOA boards run. And then just last week, we launched the world's only certification program for real estate agents to become HOA experts. We call it the Certified HOA Specialists program. And with
Okay.
that, we're helping agents understand everything they need to know about listings, but they're also elevating their expert authority by becoming that top trusted agent when it comes to HOAs.
Yeah, HOA is a pain in the. So since you have a certification program, would you like to send me that link so then I can give it to all of our agents if they are interested, and we can also have it inside in the description of this episode so they can go back and get certified. I love knowledge. I'm a sucker for information, and I always do the best at what I'm doing. So if whoever's listening, if they are realtors, right, and most of the homes that you sell is it's usually in HOA, like heavy HOA neighborhoods, then you definitely want to become an expert, right? The better you become at your job, the more people are willing to pay for. In other ways, money exchanges hands when you solve a problem. The bigger the problem, the more people are willing to pay for it, for you to solve it. So get really good, get certified, and HOA certified. So Brandon, how did you end up meeting Workman, and then how did this book come about?
Yeah, so I met Verl through a man named Ben Dixon. He said, I've got the most amazing real estate coach you need to meet. Ben was aware of my earlier book, Raving Referrals. He knew I was looking for the right co-author for the Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents book. And so he connected us together. And the funniest thing is that Verl and I were meeting in San Diego at the RE/MAX broker owner convention. And so we had just spent about 2 hours. And just as I'm leaving that meeting, I had another buddy say, I've got to introduce you. I've got the most amazing guy to connect you with. Have you met Verl Workman yet? I'm like, bro, I just spent 2 hours with the man. I love him. He's fantastic. So it's been about a year now, and I just love this man. He's so cool.
He is awesome. They really changed my life. They made me think the way I haven't never thought before. And my coach, Sarah, my first coach didn't really work out very well for me. I needed a ball buster because I'm, very, very strong personality. Let's just put it that way.
Sure.
I'm not doing it if I don't feel like it. I'm not doing it, right? So if I have a coach, I need to have a coach that is way bigger ball buster than I am, right? So they can make me do things, because we are all wherever we are because we haven't done what we're supposed to be doing to get to the next level, right? And so I just needed to get out of my own way. But Sarah got me out of my own way. And I hear, like, I'm a small person too. I'm 5'2", but I think Sarah's even shorter than me. I think she's like 4'9" or something, little blondie. But man, she can whip you into place. So I absolutely love working with her. I'm still good friends with her. We'll periodically talk to each other. So you guys run a really, really good coaching business there. So do you want to go into that a little bit? Because it is just like anything that comes natural to us, we're just going to naturally do it, and we don't even realize we do it. But if something doesn't come natural to us, but it is a solid pillar in our business, or should be a solid pillar in our business, I believe in coaching. I believe you need to go to the person who's been there, done that. They're going to show you exactly what to do. They're going to hold you accountable. So how do you guys turn this into making sure that people actually see the results from, and they build a referral-based business?
Yeah, great question. So we wrote the book to really provide not only real estate agents, but real estate leaders with a step-by-step workbook that you could use to teach anybody that's joining your team and within your organization. So it's not only good for you, it's also good for your team. In fact, last night we had a reception. I'm here in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the Workman Success Coach Training event. And last night we had a reception at Verl's house. And so I got to meet and talk to a number of the trainers. And one of them said, hey, I'm on week 8 of the book. We just launched the book 8 weeks ago. So what she's doing is every single week, she's taking a chapter and she's teaching it to the agents that she leads. And I thought that's just freaking brilliant. But what we're doing with the book is we've created a brand called Referral Champion. And you can go to referralchampion.com and check it out. And we've got all kinds of tools to really help agents thrive. But I love this saying by Les Brown. He says, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. And that's why we need a coach. We need somebody that sees the things that we don't, the blind spots in our business. So we've also created Agent Referral Score. agentreferralquiz.com, agentreferralquiz.com. And what that does is there's 10 referral best practices, and there's 100 possible points in this score. You just self-score yourself from 0 to 10 on the 10 referral best practices. The average score is 37 out of 100. because there's some blind spots in your business. There's some things that you know you should be doing that you're just not doing. And either you haven't remembered them and you need a coach to say, hey, back to the basics. Let's do the things that we know works, right? And so just going through that agent referral quiz, people are able to identify some of those blind spots and instantly make changes that make more money.
I love. We are going to have both of these links. I wrote them down. So in the episode, we are going to feature all of these links. I did also go live super quick too. So are you watching live on my account? Usually I don't do that.
Well, thank you for going live. I love it. Oh, there we go. Love it.
I figured mine is well. They don't have to wait until the episode comes out because all of the episode takes months, right? Like we have to edit it. The whole. I think we are scheduling for November or something like that now. So tell me, what are your favorites? So when you were in the mortgage business and you were working with realtors, right? What was your favorite type of getting referrals? Like, what was your cup of tea and how do you like to sip it?
Well, so first of all, I loved adding so much value to a real estate agent that I would become their lender of choice. And what I knew is they would give out 3 cards, but they would always say, but call Brandon first, right? Because we had a partnership. And that's one of the things that we teach, because we know agents give out a ton of referrals and you don't get many back. And isn't it time that you turn your vendors into proactive partners? If you're going to be giving referrals to them, they should be promoting you and giving you referrals to the clients that they're serving. And so that's one of the things that we're actually creating at HOA.com is a community co-marketing engine. And we haven't launched it yet, Gogo, but it's basically like a Nextdoor meets Angie's List meets Zillow, all focused on the community. We have every community in America with a dedicated page where we're going to select a top trusted real estate agent that we're recommending to the homeowners and to the HOA boards within that community. So that's just kind of a sample of what is there. But for me, what I loved is when I could really make a difference with the family that the agents were working on. When I knew that that person had a flawless 5-star experience and the agent was eternally grateful and there was no drama, that was a win.
Sometimes we got to the closing table and I was like, well, this was way too easy. I know some cray some cray is on its way, right? Because we can't I wish we could have all be just a smooth sailing to the closing table, but I feel like over time, the better we got at negotiating and building relationship with the people and really understanding who they are and what they want, the better we got to the closing table. But we do make mistakes, earlier in our careers. So what do you look forward to now? So you're such a different phase of your life right now, right? To me, it seems like as much as I know about you, you're not necessarily in the one-on-one. So being a CEO of HOA.com, what does that look like for you? And then how do you fit in these kind of things into your day-to-day?
Yeah, well, so I wrote the first Raving Referrals book because I wanted to take everything that I know works in referrals and be able to give it to the world. Honestly, I wanted to empower and equip all of the HOA.com certified pros with a system they could use to help more families and make more money. And so that's where it came from. And then I'm creating a series, as you mentioned. This is the 4th book in the series. I have 3 more books that are in process right now. Raving Referrals for business coaches, Raving Referrals for M&A advisors.
Dentists. I saw dentists.
Yes, dentists, and then mortgage pros. Obviously, my experience is from the mortgage business. In fact, right now I'm in the Security National Mortgage Company national headquarters. And so that's where we're doing this event. So it's perfect, right? And mortgage lenders, much like realtors, I think realtors are underappreciated and overworked. It's one of the things that I talk about is you guys are rock stars. Like you guys go above and beyond to help families beyond what they could ever imagine, the service level. And I think a lot of realtors are underappreciated. People know so many agents. They're like, well, if that one doesn't work, I can go to a next. And that's where you've got to elevate the level of service that you provide, but also your expert authority, because people know a ton of different agents. And so the question is, what niche are you growing rich in? How are you separating yourself from the competition where people think about you and don't think about anybody else? So they have to recommend and refer you because you're the expert in that field, whether it's luxury or investor or even HOAs.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, is knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
right? No, and then also knowing who you are and charge tax, don't have commission breath. Like
Right.
if even try to reduce my commission, I'm not the agent for you. You need to go and work with somebody else who can't negotiate their own commission, because you're not going to negotiate me out of mine. I can tell you that, right? And then I think when you have that solid foundation of knowing who you are and knowing, then they need you. They're not going to do anybody else down on the road, right? Because they're like, oh, they don't know as much as Gogo does. Right?
Well, that's it. And you're elevating your expert authority, because part of that is how you carry yourself. It's your confidence. It's your being. We teach the Shalmani Method when it comes to coming on camera, by the way. And I just want to share this as a gift. This is so fun. You're going to love this. Okay. So it's 5 steps. It's Shalmani, the Shalmani Method. So anytime you're going on camera, and you can use this, quite frankly, in any conversation, but it's especially true when you're going on camera. And it's about who you're being when you're sharing your message with the world. And it's 5 steps. It's number 1, people. Number 2, purpose. Number 3, passion. Number 4, personality. And number 5, prosperity. So let me unpack that for you. Number 1, it's about people, right? So when you're going to share your message on camera, focus on the people that you're going to help. Get out of your own head. It's not about you. It's about them. And people can feel the difference when you're in service mode, when you don't have commission breath, like you said, right? So number 1, people. Number 2, purpose. Understand the purpose for your life, but also have a purpose for your video. If you're coming on to a conversation like this, know what it is you want to share. And then if you're doing a video for social media, is there a call to action? Where are you leading people? What action do you want them to take? Have a plan before you create your video. And then number 3, passion. Share whatever it is that you're passionate about. If you love serving at the dog rescue farm, then go share that with people. Whatever it is that lights your fire. And that leads to the 4th, which is personality. Share the true you. As you shine like the star that you are, and you really share the authentic you, then your vibe attracts your tribe. People are attracted to you, and that leads to prosperity, number 5. And the beauty is, as a real estate professional, it's not only prosperity for you and your family, you're also helping families build wealth, because real estate is the biggest driver of wealth. So that leads to prosperity for all, and that ties back to people, and that's the Shalmani Method. Isn't that fun?
The 5 Ps.
That's it.
I wrote them all down, but when you said personality, people tell me all the time when they meet me in person, they're like, oh my gosh, Gogo, you're exactly the same. And I'm thinking to myself, who else would I be? Right. Like, this is who I am. Like, there's no, like, this is what you get, right? Like, why would I be a different person online than I am in person? Like, why would I change personality? This is not a persona. This is
right.
This is who I am. This is how I run business. So what is that you look forward to?
Oh, for us, it's the future of community, right? Revolutionizing the way that communities connect. One of the things that we love doing is impact events. And so like Saturday, we were at the Girls Change the Rules Summit. I shouldn't say we. I was at the Girls Change the Rules Summit volunteering. Say again?
You fit right in.
You know, what's so funny is I was just looking at this photo of our volunteer team, and I had no idea until I looked at the photo, and I'm like, oh, wait, I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy in the room. So, but what we're doing is we're all about improving community, right? And so with the Girls Rule Foundation, it's in Phoenix, Arizona right now, and we're going to take it national through HOA.com. It's all about teaching girls 13 to 18 leadership, self-esteem, and financial management. And so as we empower them with these 3 different areas, then what we're looking for is leaders that will come on board and teach this at their local high school in the areas that they farm, right? Right? It's so cool, Gogo. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's amazing.
I was in Phoenix last week.
Oh, were you? Oh,
yes, I just got back. I spoke at Amy Gregory's Rise event.
Oh, wonderful.
400 ladies in the room, and yeah, I was there for 3.5 days. You guys have some really good food in Phoenix.
Oh, it's so good. I love Phoenix. The weather's great. Food's amazing. People are awesome. Everybody's happy. It's a good.
Where do you live?
I live in Chandler, southeast of Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah. It was a great thing. The one thing though, you can't put enough lotion on somehow. I was like, body just soaks it all up, and you walk outside. I'm like, wow, my hand look really old.
Well, your skin looks gorgeous, though. You got a great brown there.
The weather over there is a bit dry for me. But
Yeah.
I want to ask you a couple questions. So one question is, what is your favorite book that you ever read?
Oh, the book that changed my life was The 1 Minute Millionaire by Mark Victor Hansen. And if you haven't read it, it's really two books in one. It's the left side pages are kind of the how to build wealth and success, and the right hand side is a story. It's a story about a woman who lost her kids and she had to fight to win them back. And she used real estate as the investment method to build her wealth to get her kids back. It's an awesome book. And that led me to meeting the author, Mark Victor Hansen, wrote all those Chicken Soup for the Soul books. And
Oh my gosh, that's crazy you say that, because I just wanted to compare this to the Chicken Soup for the Soul series or the Dummies series.
yeah, so Mark Victor Hansen has been my mentor for the last 21 years. I met him May 18th, 2004. So 21 years ago.
Actual date?
Yeah, well, I hired him for an event. We did an event called Success with Integrity. I hired him to come speak. It was a fundraising event. We raised enough money to send $1.2 million in medical supplies around the world from that day. But that was also the day I met Mark, and he became my mentor. And he lives in Scottsdale. I see him all the time. We just talked the other day. He's an amazing man, but he helped me learn. Don't write a book, build a brand. So I absolutely modeled this after Chicken Soup. And when I wrote the first book, I just identified the next 20 chapters that I wanted to write. I had no idea how it was going to happen, but you just have to start. When you have a vision, you got to get in the game. And so I shared that, and also our Raving Referrals certified trainer program. That was just a vision when I wrote the first book several years ago. And now we have trainers nationwide. So your dreams come true. If you've got a vision, go put it into action and work tirelessly every day to make it happen.
That's amazing. So I actually have a question. Did you guys self-publish or did you use a publisher?
So this is my publishing brand called Expertise Publishing.
Oh.
So the first two books, I used a publisher. And then after I had gone through the process, I wanted to fully control it and to be able to help my friends. I meet a lot of people that have a book inside of them and they're not sure how to get that published. And so I created Expertise Publishing to help other authors or would-be authors get their voice to the world.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have my book title. I own the .com. I know what book I'm writing. I've known it since day one in my career. I just haven't got to it.
Okay.
I had a publishing company reach out to me a couple years ago, and we got into it. And of course, as you can tell, we are not publishing. I mean, I should say I am not publishing with them. The reason why is this. I feel like my whole story is that I became a multimillionaire with broken English, with no college education, with no sphere of influence, and with $200 to my name. They wanted my book to be perfect English. I said you would miss the whole point.
Right.
The book would miss its whole point. Well, if you're not using an editor, then it's going to look like you can't even afford an editor. And then I said, listen, I'll pay for the editor. The first page of the book is going to be the invoice, and I paid for the editor. And then we're going to ask the editor not to freaking edit it. And I want to use the after. Because the whole point for me is to get the message across. Then if I can do what I do with broken English, then you can do whatever you want with your perfect English, right? And so I decided to self-publish at the time because I'm like, I am not. He's like, no publisher is going to work with you if you're not going to put it in the perfect format. I said, well, then I'm just self-publishing because I am not changing it to perfect English because it would miss the whole point. I want it to be in my English. So is that something that your publishing company would take on, or should I self-publish?
Yeah, we would be happy to. I think what we would do is put a page at the beginning of the book informing people, sort of a disclaimer, if you will, saying, just so you know, Gogo's book is in her native tongue and she speaks the way that she speaks so that you can really interpret and feel and experience life in Gogo's world. So, I think it's brilliant. I haven't seen that done, I got to tell you. And I think
I'll be the first one to do it.
Come on, Gogo. You go, girl.
Because I was like, no, I'm not. Then I'll just self-publish. I'm like, I'll figure it out and I self-publish because that would miss, in my opinion, it was miss the whole point. right? But the reason I don't have my book yet, because I haven't had the time to figure out how to self-publish. Haven't got that.
Be happy to help you. Be happy to help you.
Yeah, I talked to Elena Cardone, and she self-published her last book, and so I can ask her how she did. I just haven't got that far yet. But I figured I'll ask you, since you own your own publishing company here, maybe there's a way for us to work together. Absolutely. What is the lesson that took you the longest to learn?
Ooh, took me the longest to learn. I think probably the art of the ask. I think as human beings, sometimes we're reluctant to ask. And, I've created a framework and how you ask for referrals in a way that doesn't seem like it's about you. It's really about the other person. And so I had to learn to sort of humble myself and ask for help from others. And now I teach the art of the ask. And when it comes to real estate, it's one of the biggest things that makes a difference to people instantly, because so many people either don't ask at all, or they ask at the wrong time in the wrong way. So with the art of the ask, it helps people feel comfortable, confident, and get a lot more referrals.
Is that something that you can teach us in, 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes, you bet. So there's 3 steps. Number 1, set the stage. Number 2, listen for the referral triggers. And number 3, ASK to GET. And this is chapter 8 in the book, Gogo. So you can refer to it. So number 1, set the stage. This is the most important. When you're working with a client, they've just signed their listing agreement, or they've signed their buyer's brokers, and they've decided to hire you. Before you let them out of your office or out of that meeting, say, before I let you go, can I ask you a quick favor? I'm so committed to
let you go.
Before I let you go, can I ask you a quick favor? I'm so committed to delivering a 5-star experience for you and your family. Would it be okay, once I've really shown you the level of professionalism I come to this business with, would it be okay if I ask you for a review and ask you for referrals? This is setting the stage. And you're not putting them on the spot right now, right? What you're doing is saying, I'm going to go above and beyond. You're going to love working with me. I'm going to give you the 5-star experience, right? So you're
funny. So I didn't even realize, and I must have learned this one from you guys too. In my reviews, I always used to say, so, we would get through the whole process, and we are sitting at the closing table, and everybody's happier than a clown, and it's the day they're getting keys, right? And I used to say, as we're walking out of the title company, I always said, hey guys, I had a 5-star experience working with you guys. Would you take just 2 minutes later on today? My team is going to send you a quick little referral, review link. If you would just 2 minutes of your time. Again, I had a 5-star experience working with you guys. If you would just take 2 minutes out of your time and leave me a review, that's how I feed my children. It's a word-of-mouth business. But guess what I got back every time? 5-star reviews.
5-star reviews.
Like, it's an underlying message. It's like, what do you think? I had 5-star experience, and you're gonna come back and tell me that you had a 3-star experience? I don't think so. Right? So it's like, it's so simple. Okay,
I love that, Gogo. Well, and here's the thing: when you set the stage up front, what happens is you don't often have to wait until the end of the service experience to get referrals, because now they're on alert. It's kind of that reticular activator. Now they're thinking about it, and as they have conversations with a friend, a family member, a coworker, or a client, they're like, oh, I got to introduce you to Gogo. She's the best. You're going to love working with her, right? So you get referrals early on, but if you set the stage, then you're listening for referral triggers. And the referral triggers are usually a thank you. Gogo, thank you so much. You are amazing. I love working with you. Anything like that, an expression of appreciation, that's a referral trigger. Now you know someone's in peak referral state. They've just praised you.
Did you learn peak state from Tony Robbins?
Yeah, I got turned on to Tony Robbins when I was 15. So I love Tony.
God.
He's the man who changed my life.
In common. I love Tony Robbins. I'm like, you said peak state, that's Tony Robbins.
He's so good. But yeah, so now once they're praising you, they're in peak referral state, and that's when you ask for referrals. I'm so glad to hear you feel that way. I love helping people like you find their dream home, find a great investment property, and I'm looking to take on a couple more clients. Who do you know that I might be able to help and give them that 5-star experience just like I gave you?
Love it. Second step?
Well, that was all 3. So number 1 is setting the stage.
Yep.
Number 2 is listening for the referral triggers. And then number 3 is ASK to GET. So once they express their appreciation, you got that referral trigger, that's when you want to ask, when they're in peak referral state.
Isn't that just simple? I
You know,
used to get 5-star reviews all the time. So I only had one-star review from someone never even worked with, no idea who they are.
mhm.
So I responded back to Google. I'm like, you guys can look at all of my closings. I'm more than happy to supply you guys with all my closing. I said, I've never worked with this person. Don't even know who they are. Probably a competitor that didn't like my 5-star review rating. So try to fix that for me. And
Right.
they ended up, it's still on my review because I didn't want, you know, when I got that 1-star, I kind of was thinking, oh my God, but first of all, I was mad. I wanted Google to remove it. But then I
Right.
was like, you know, no, let me just respond with my truth and leave it up there for the world to see that this is not someone that we ever worked with. This is someone who went out of their day trying to dim my light so they can shine brighter.
Mhm.
Right?
That's right.
Never worked and will never will. Right? Well, Brandon, thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else that you want to make sure we cover today before we go off?
Well, the last thing that I would say is that lesson that I learned from Mark Victor Hansen, and it's set your goals. Be intentional about what you wanted to accomplish and achieve. And you know, I'm here obviously with Verl Workman. So at the Workman Success, if I weren't talking about goals, Verl would be on me. So you know, the more clear that you get about exactly what you want to accomplish and achieve, the faster it happens. And Mark Victor Hansen challenged me when I first met him to write 101 goals. I wrote 338. And one of those goals, I had read that 1 Minute Millionaire. I wanted Mark to write about me in a book by May 28th, 2005. And as I started working with him, he calls me up one day and he says, hey, Robert Allen and I are writing the sequel to the 1 Minute Millionaire. It's going to be called Cracking the Millionaire Code. Would it be okay if we write about you? And I'm like, wow. That book came out May 31st, 2005, 3 days after my goal, a year ahead of that. And that was proof positive to me that anything that you dream and desire, you can achieve. But you've got to write it down. You've got to have crystal clarity. And the more clear you get on what you want, and you're living life by design rather than life by default, you're going to get what you want and live the life that you desire and deserve.
Each of my companies, where we were in 2024, where we're going to be in 2025, what percentage of growth we need to get. And then that will take me to 2.5 million this year.
Come on, girl. Let's go. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Less than 7 digits since 2019. But now I'm reducing my hours. I only work Monday to Wednesday, 10 to 4. So I work 3 days. So yeah, 3 days a week, 6 hours a day. But I'm taking the whole summer off.
Good for you. Wow. Peak selling season. And you're like, I'm out.
Oh, I haven't sold a house in 3.5 years, and I'm very proud of it. That was my goal. 0 homes sold was my goal, and I reached my goal.
That's awesome. Good for you. I love it. And that's what happens when you have a goal and you focus your energy and attention on achieving that thing that you want more than anything. That's what you'll manifest in your life. But most people are living life by default. They're not clear on what it is they want to achieve. And so they get life handed to them rather than going and after it and getting exactly what they want.
I agree with you. I usually use the description of like they're on a treadmill. Like they are definitely running. They are exhausted. They are putting all of their effort into it, but they're going absolutely nowhere.
Yours is work less, earn more. Everybody needs that. Listen to Gogo.
Exactly. Most of it passive. I would say about 90% of my income now is passive. Nice. I do this show because I love it and I enjoy interviewing and picking brains, right? This is not my moneymaker, but I only have 3 moneymakers and I spend my time and energy for, because I believe that an hour of your time is an hour of your life.
It is. Amen. Well said.
I'm very limited of what I give time to or who I give time to, right? And this way I can live my best life, make the most amount of money and in the least amount of time.
Amen. Well, thank you for doing your show. Thank you for having me on. It really means a lot to me. And I just honor your leadership, right? Because what you're doing makes a difference. People are tuning in because they're getting fired up. They're getting inspired and you're helping them lead the life that they want. So well done, Gogo. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to have you guys for coaching in the GoGet'em community in Team Gogo, and then introducing everyone through your coaching to your actual coaching program, because you guys changed my life, right? You guys laid a very solid foundation for me to be where I am today. And I can't say anything but good things. And thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure, my honor. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye, Brandon. Thank you guys for watching. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel and also stay tuned so you can watch the next video.